Stand by to launch FanStream Sports.
3, 2, 1.
Let's start.
Hello, sports fans. Welcome to FanStream Sports. Nothing but pure sports. This is the JP Show.
JP, it is so good to hear you back on the air.
Stand by. Now, here's JP.
All right, welcome into Inauguration Monday. And no, Rick, I am not at the inauguration, clearly, as you can see, because I am afraid of sub-zero temperatures. And I did not get my invite, which I'm not very happy about. But it's a whole new world that we live in today on so many levels. All traitors are pardoned from the previous administration, which is awesome. Whatever you did to sell out your country and kill millions of people, don't worry about it. You're good. You good. That won't fly, though. TikTok is back, and Tim is excited. So excited that TikTok is back. And, yes, happy MLK Day. A possibly abbreviated show today for all you people that are off work. But we are here to give you all the Tampa Bay slant of all sports and crazy stuff over the weekend. What's up, Tim Ham? From our DSP affiliate in freezing Dallas, although we're going to have snow in Florida on Wednesday.
That is crazy. It's not snowing, but it is 12 degrees right now in my backyard. Even the dog poop's frozen.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's going to be feels like in the 20s here this week, and snow could come down as far as Gainesville, but it's not going to make it to Tampa or Orlando. Doesn't look like it. So, yeah, how about that? Historic. Freaking chilly, but that's okay. It is football weather, no question about it. We're going to go over the NFL playoffs from this weekend. We're going to kind of look at the Bucs in terms of what offseason moves they should be looking at. Tyreek Hill was at church in Tampa on Sunday. I don't know. There's video of him in church. I don't know what the hell's going on, but let's pray that he does not become a member of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I don't know what that's all about. But we will discuss here. Some of you may want to see Tyreek Hill, the cheetah, in a Buccaneers uniform. I'm a little iffy on it, but I have an open mind. We'll look at the financial ramifications of that, but it's a possibility. So could that be an offseason move for the Buccaneers? Would you rather have a Chris Godwin coming off an injury or a Tyreek Hill coming off quitting on his team? Your thoughts, your impressions. So
I don't want Tyreek Hill anywhere near my team. I'll just lead off with that.
Yeah, the culture on his team is really, really good, and I think it's a huge reason that they win. But what did we learn about the Bucs in this weekend of playoffs? That is kind of a topic that I want to tackle here, because we always like to look at things in terms of the Buccaneers. Now, I think many people from the X Machine, perusing the X Machine, said that, well, look how explosive that Washington offense is. They put 45 points up on Detroit. It was a defense that was riddled with injuries, and didn't really pressure Jaden Daniels. All I can say is I think Jaden Daniels obviously is a fabulous football player, but that was a completely different type of game. And the Detroit decided to turn that into a shootout and not let Washington beat them by 1,000 paper cuts, and they couldn't keep up. And how many turnovers did Detroit have? 5 turnovers total. 5 turnovers. I mean, you're just not going to win that game. You're just not going to win a game where you turned it over 5 times. And obviously that led to a lot of the points that Washington got. So I'm not going to sit here and say that, suddenly the Bucs defense was really, really good because the Lions gave up 45 points where they had 5 turnovers. I just a completely different type of game. It's apples to oranges. I don't think one necessarily affects the other. All I can tell you is the Bucs got absolutely zero pressure on Jaden Daniels, allowed them to do whatever the hell they wanted to do on offense, which is what they wanted to do on offense was eat clock. And that's what they did. They ran the football just to eat clock because they knew that every 3rd down or 4th down situation, they could get it against the defense that they could do anything against. So if you think that's a definition of good defense, I'll disagree. I think that's terrible defense. If you allow the other team to possess the ball for 11 more minutes, that's terrible defense. Listen, not that the offense wasn't without fault. They were. But when you get that little chance to work with the football, that to me is on the defense. Obviously, the Bucs did not play a great game overall, and that's why they're at home. And that's why Washington continues. To me, though, what this tells me about this whole group is that the Lions were eminently beatable.
Yeah.
it makes me even more pissed off, to be quite honest. I look at the NFC now and I see, wow, this thing is wide open. The Eagles cannot throw the football. They can't throw the football. I mean, I was watching Get Up this morning. They and Orlovsky went over 5 or 6 plays, Jalen Hurts from the All-22. And you can see, I think Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown combined for 38 yards total. While the weather. Well, the Rams had 4 receivers with more than 38 yards. So don't tell me about that. But you saw in these cut-ups a quarterback that just refuses to throw the ball with any anticipation whatsoever. Now, he could be under strict orders that you don't put the ball in harm's way at all because we can beat this team in the snow just running the football. And they did. So you really can't argue with that type of strategy. But you also look and you ask yourself, can Jalen Hurts win a game where they've got to, score points against the Commanders? They got to score points against other teams. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question.
Not with that offensive coordinator, you can't.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, but is it him? I mean, if Jalen Hurts won't pull the trigger on a 10-yard stop route where the defensive back is playing 5 yards off, I mean, that's a gimme. That's a gimme with no pressure. That's a gimme. Why are you not throwing that football? Is Kevin Moore telling him not to throw that football? I doubt that.
That would be coming from the top. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, but or Jalen Hurts just doesn't have any confidence and doesn't want to turn the ball over. And you can't win big like that. You can win, divisional games, but you're not going to win a Super Bowl doing that. No way.
Not against the Chiefs.
No. So, and I think it's going to be hard to get to a Super Bowl doing that, quite frankly. So, I don't know. Again, to me, looks like a missed opportunity. The boys, by the way, were at the hockey game on Saturday night. Baker Mayfield, Tristan Wirfs, a bunch of the offensive linemen. They were up in the club having a few pops, and they were kind of halfway watching the games. And Chris, the bartender up there, had a quick conversation with Baker, and it's like, do you guys really care who wins? Not at this point. I mean, you root for your friends that play for the Rams or whoever. Right. You root for friends. Mark Andrews, they're tight. So he goes, but other than that, no. You're kind of an observer, and obviously, clearly, they're not even dialed into the games that much because they're at a hockey game watching hockey.
Yep.
So
supporting their community.
Supporting their community. Yes, exactly. So, and it's good. And it's always great to see the guys out in the community. And it really is a great part of it. But also, I watched these games this weekend. Bucs fans, did you get that feel? I watched these games. I'm like, the Bucs should be in this. The Bucs should be in this. I mean, losing that game at home in the fashion that they lost that game is freaking criminal. It's criminal. Ugh. And you're not going to get all these opportunities. You think, well, there's a window open with, hopefully Liam Cohen stays. We're still not out of the woods there yet. You hope that all this continuity on offense stays the same. But what if Baker gets hurt? What if Mike Evans gets hurt? What if, what if Tristan Wirfs gets hurt again? What if you lose 2 tackles injuries can just derail your entire season. And the offense, pretty much, well, obviously you lost Godwin this year, avoidable. And you lost Mike Evans for four games, but your offensive line was pretty consistent. Tristan Wirfs played through some tough stuff, by the way. Probably most guys wouldn't have played through. But I just look at these playoffs and I go, damn, this is such a missed opportunity. Do you get that feeling, Tim? And
because you're not guaranteed anything from year to year, not even making the playoffs. And by the way, the path to a 5th straight division title next year just got a lot harder because the Atlanta Falcons just hired a new defensive coordinator, and I think he's really, really good.
Yeah, who was that?
Jeff Ulbrich.
Yeah.
So things could be tougher next season, and they have a quarterback now. So if they draft some edge rushing, you're in trouble in Tampa.
Well, I'm confident that those knuckleheads up there have no idea what they're doing, so somehow they'll even screw this up.
That's all right.
But you know what? I will say,
not the brightest person in the world, so
I'll say this though. Kudos to Raheem Morris for firing one of his best friends in Jimmy Lake and going out and hiring, what was the best guy on the market or one of the best guys on the market. Is Todd Bowles going to do that with some of the staffers on his group that aren't producing players that are flourishing or getting better under their tutelage? and defensive backs that can't catch the football and are terrible technique-wise and can't intercept the football, are bad tacklers. I mean, there's a lot of bad stuff. It's a lot of bad stuff. So, I would not – I would love to see it. And, those meetings took place last week. What became of those meetings? What became of those meetings? That's what I want to know. So,
yeah, here in Dallas, the question is always, will Jerry Jones fire the general manager? Well, the answer is, of course, is no. In Tampa, the question should be, will Todd Bowles fire his defensive coordinator? He's not going to.
Or will the general manager fire his defensive coordinator?
That will happen first, yes.
Yeah. So it's just when I watch these playoffs, that's the sinking feeling I get, that the Bucs could have gone to Detroit and won that game. Detroit, I love Dan Campbell. Is he a little too crazy in terms of being aggressive? No, not for me. I wish we had a coach like that, quite frankly. You just go for it, be aggressive on both sides of the ball. And that's something I saw yesterday from Spagnuolo going after Stroud. I mean, what I saw all weekend long was defenses that pressured the quarterback and sent 6 and 7 guys, and which is something that the Bucs refused to do. Yeah. And against the Commanders. Just make something happen. And those are the observations I had in watching these other games. And number one, the Bucs certainly could be there and should have been there in Detroit winning that game. And could be coming. Well, they wouldn't have hosted the Eagles, but they would have had a chance to maybe even host another playoff game. That sucks. That sucks because I think this team was good enough to do more damage. And whether Liam Cohen leaves or not, when I went back and watched this all 22 and just watched the passive nature of this defense, and then watched the egregious misuse of timeouts. I just, and this is not, again, personal at all. It's just I don't want to see another year of game mismanagement. I don't. I see these other head coaches, and they're bringing juice to their team, and they're bringing emotional fire, and they're bringing this aggressiveness. And I look at all these other coaches, and then I look at Todd Bowles, and I'm like, man, this is the odd man out. Defensive-minded, passive head coaches who can't manage games and use timeouts in a strategic way. And we're going to sign up for this again. It's maddening to me, and I know to a lot of Bucs fans it's maddening. And it's maddening. I think you're holding this team back. I think that's evident. And if I were the Glazers, I would make a bold choice. But I'm not. They won't. And we're going to probably muddle through another year of this.
I would say game mismanagement cost you at least 3 wins last season. And it cost you a win in the playoffs.
And I just asked the question. How much better would this team be with Dan Campbell as the head coach? I mean, you're talking about a completely different vibe.
Different philosophy.
Completely different philosophy. And one, frankly, that I would love to see. I look around at a lot of these different coaches and see how they're strategizing and see what they're doing in terms of their aggressiveness offensively and defensively. Their use of timeouts, their use of 4th downs. It's a different world, man. It's a different world. And I don't see how the Glazers can sit back and sign up for more of this.
Why would you want to? I
don't know. It's mediocre football. In terms of the record, it's 28-27. It's 3. You have lost 3 home games in the playoffs. 3. And the only one you won was an Eagles game in a tailspin. You can talk about defensive. You can talk about titles all you want. But what I see is a team that has a really good roster that's underperforming in terms of wins. And this playoff loss to a Commanders team that I think obviously Jaden Daniels is good, but that was an eminently winnable game, especially with your run game and playing at home. That's a humongous missed opportunity, especially when you could have gone to Detroit and played obviously an injured Detroit team. Now, I don't know if you would have forced 5 turnovers. That's not the MO. you'd actually have to catch the football in an interception situation, which of course the Bucs are completely adverse to doing. So that is my overwhelming feeling of watching this weekend is, damn, this was a missed opportunity. And who's to blame? The head coach. That's where I start. Yeah. Watch all these other teams. That's where it goes. And he's not the sole person, obviously. There were some play calls that Liam Cohen, I'm sure, would want back. And Baker Mayfield's fumble, that definitely was a crusher. It was an absolute crusher.
On the jet sweep.
On the jet sweep.
I wonder how long until they run that play again.
Again, well, they ran it a lot this year and had great success with it. And they completed that handoff. I did see a couple jet sweeps yesterday. Yep. And the one thing you notice is the wide receiver has more distance between himself and the quarterback than Jalen McMillan did. That was timing, and Baker wore it, but that's on everybody. They just got to execute the play. But again, you need to be more aggressive defensively to get more possessions and do something. And you need to be maybe more aggressive offensively in fourth down situations. And you definitely don't need to let your defense give up 4 minutes and 41 seconds of clock at the end of the game and just allow the other team to go down the field and kick a game-winning field goal and leave you no time to get your offensive unit on the field. It's just a losing proposition, and you just sit back there. And as a Bucs fan right now, I'm more angry than I was last week watching these opportunities go by. And watching how other teams are being coached and managed. So, yeah.
Yeah, because, again, like you said, you never know when you're going to get these opportunities again. Just ask Dan Marino.
That's right. Absolutely right. It was some great opportunity. What were some of your observations from the games yesterday and this weekend?
Man, last night, I feel so bad for Lamar Jackson. Because you know what? Both of those quarterbacks in that game, in the Buffalo-Baltimore game, whoever lost that game is now just going to continue to carry the label, you can't win the big one, right?
Yeah.
No matter who it was. If it was Josh Allen, he would have had that label, and he still has to go through Kansas City and beat Patrick. But Lamar Jackson, he might be a 3-time MVP after this year.
Yep. Yep.
And look at the stigma that is on him now. And maybe rightfully so. I don't know. But I just feel bad for the guy. Like, I'm not a Baltimore fan, but they're a fun team to watch. And they're going to have the same thing going on in Baltimore that they have going on in Pittsburgh about firing their coach. Everybody in Pittsburgh freaking wants to get rid of Mike Tomlin.
Isn't that crazy?
Everybody in Baltimore wants to get rid of John Harbaugh. I would take either one of those guys in a freaking heartbeat in Dallas. But, here we are. So, I know we'll preview the conference championship games all week long. That's all we have to talk about NFL-wise. But just feel bad for Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, I don't know. But does he's got to take some of the blame here, man.
Oh, for sure.
Those two turnovers were awful.
Yeah.
God awful. And I'm searching for the tweet from Sean King. And I don't think he's wrong, but I think he took a lot of heat for this. But I think as a quarterback, he's spot on. I want to get to yeah, he took Lamar to task for a bad throw to Mark Andrews. I want to get the exact wording here because
he had a couple of those. I mean, there's no question he's he's responsible for some of that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm looking at his timeline. He got crushed for this. Yeah. I mean, 80. Does Andrews have to catch the ball? Yes, he does. But it's cold and it's a little low and it's a little behind him and he's wide open.
But Mark Andrews will be the first one to tell you he should have caught that ball.
Yeah. I can't find it. This is terrible radio, I know. But anyway, it basically to the point of, look, there was sloppy fundamentals by Lamar on that play. His feet are not good. The way he throws the ball, he's kind of babying the ball out there.
Yeah.
And I understand that because you don't want to miss the throw, but fundamentally that ball needs to be here to the outside and up in the face mask, not down and low behind. And it was. I mean, yeah, you need to make that play, but this is a perfect call, a perfect play. He's wide open. Make a perfect throw. Make a perfect throw. Get good fundamentals. Have the ball in the right place. Show it to the receiver. Throw a spiral and hit him in the hands. It's freaking 12 degrees out there. You don't make it any harder than it needs to be. And in the biggest moments, he just wasn't. Lamar was. I mean, that last drive was great. He made some great throws, was very patient. The touchdown throw to Likely was fantastic. Just, I think he had 6 or 7 seconds in the pocket. It's fantastic. But those 3 plays, the fumble was an unforced error, completely unforced error. The interception was awful. It's a terrible throw in those situations. I get it's going to flutter a little bit. And then the last throw is just, on the 2-point version. The other thing about this is also the play calling. There was one touchdown. They went right down the field. And then, for my money on the 2-point, run the damn ball. But you're just surge that you're getting on your offensive line and Derrick Henry is unbelievable. Run the damn ball.
Yeah, I thought that.
Run the damn ball. Just slam it in there. But I know also you want to put the ball in your best player's hand. I can get that too, but I'm slamming it in there. But that's just my thought. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back and talk about the ridiculousness that is the Kansas City Chiefs and all the calls that they get. That was terrible. That was a weird game. We'll discuss that. And also, we're going to have a special guest joining us from a train in transit to the inauguration. So we'll find out what's going on in D.C. Up there for Inauguration Day. We'll do a quick pop up there. This is the JP Peterson Show, brought to you by the Jeeves Law Group, JEEVES lawgroup.com on this wonderful MLK Day. We're not taking a day off. We're here for you. The Jeeves Law Group, they're local, they are trusted, and they get results. If you're in an accident, call Scott Jeeves and his group of attorneys. You will not be a number like you will be with some of those bigger firms. It's the Jeeves Law Group, JEEVES lawgroup.com. Back in 3, and we'll take you to D.C.
Ciao, Paolo Tini here, owner of Caffè Paradiso, voted number 3 People's Choice Award on Open Table. I want to thank all our loyal family of customers that have been enjoying our great traditional Italian dishes we make from scratch every day. It's a great family story we're proud of. Our family moved from Rimini, Italy in 1984. My dad, Caesar, started Donatello, and that's where I got the start in the restaurant business. I started Caffè Paradiso on South McDill in 1995, and we've been there ever since. From our traditional ossobuco, a veal slow roast for 4 hours, to our daily fresh catch, the Gruppo Paradiso, with a piccata sauce and lobster claw meat, homemade pasta like lasagna, farfalle salchicha, which is a bow tie pasta homemade with fresh sausage. Hold on a minute, JP's favorite.
I love it.
So come and have a glass of wine with me on South McDill. Get a reservation on Open Table and see all our 5-star reviews. Ciao, see you soon at Paradiso.
So many of our Tampa Bay neighbors are finding out the hard way from Hurricane Helene that homeowners insurance does not cover flood damage. You must have flood insurance. It's a separate policy. Immediately call Italiano Insurance at 813-877-7799, and they will shop around to find the best policy before rates go up. Lock it in. Over 60% are underinsured in Florida, or you're not getting your discounts that you're entitled to. So do an insurance checkup at Italiano, and they could save you thousands of dollars. Italiano will make sure you're with a highly rated insurer, so there are no surprises in your time of need. Our hearts go out to all our neighbors devastated by Helene. These are the times we're proud to protect all the pieces of your life. Italiano Insurance, 813-877-7799. Old Hurricane Helene put a hurting on Tampa Bay, and for many of you, the rebuild will be a long process. You must beware of unscrupulous contractors offering up quick fixes for incredible prices. It's a scam. So go with long-standing reputable companies like Third Generation Plumbing and AC. My friend John Rodriguez has been serving Tampa Bay since 1995 with hundreds of 5-star reviews. If you need a new AC system or any home repairs from Helene, they will work with insurance companies to get you taken care of quickly, expertly installed, of course, and a 1-year maintenance plan and 10-year warranty included on all AC units. 0% financing for 60 months. Contact them at thirdgenerationplumbing.com or 813-961-8024. That's 813-961-8024, thirdgenerationplumbing.com.
Let's go! Right now. Back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to this historic Monday as the inauguration of Donald Trump is about to take place. And
second inauguration.
That's right. 47.
I don't have many of those non-consecutive.
That's right. It's been, how many has there been? Only
one
more. Yeah, only one other, right?
One. Yeah.
So who was that? Teddy
Benjamin Harrison.
Benjamin Harrison.
I believe.
Wow. That's incredible. All right, let's head on up to Washington, D.C., where our good friend of the show, Cliff Gephardt, is. What's up, Cliff? How you doing, my friend? You're on your way to the inauguration. How are you?
I'm doing good. I am on my way to the inauguration. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, you sound great.
Yeah.
What's the vibe like up there besides snowy?
Well, I was there yesterday all day. We did all the stuff, and I think there's a lot of confusion. There's there's some confusion about why it's not happening. Today it's going to be 23 degrees. 23 degrees is not something you shut something down for. If that were the case, they would shut down every ski resort in America. Every ski resort in America would be shut down.
Oh, please don't do that.
No, don't do that.
Exactly. So there's got to be something else going on. Everybody knows, well, what else is going on? I believe they were afraid of protecting the people, not so much the president. That's something's going to happen, or there was some intel they had. I just think it's outrageous because I saw them dismantling everything, and it's all this hard work and this arduous amounts of preparation for 10 degrees. It just seems ridiculous.
Yeah. Is it snowy? Is it windy? Yeah. Is it just awful, or what?
Yesterday it was snowy, but today it's a crisp, clear day.
Right.
It's all good, man. So
it's not that bad.
No, it's not that bad, man. It's not like it's like sub-zero, and there's an interesting phenomenon that people can actually buy jackets. I don't know if people knew that, but
you can insulate yourself. Yes. Yeah. So you think this is all security?
I think it is. I think it is. Yeah.
Now, will you be able to get inside the Capitol, or will the people be able to watch from outside? How's it going to work?
Yeah, there's going to be all kinds of watch parties. I'm actually speaking at an event at Bobby Van's Grill, where there's going to be 1,500 people there. I know Roger Stone's going to be there. I know Matt Gaetz is going to be there. I know there's a whole bunch of people. Kobe Covington's going to be there. The UFC fighter. There's going to be a lot of people at the event I'm at.
He's got some opinions. I like him.
He does have some opinions. Yeah.
He does.
So I think it's become a fragmented inauguration. As you can see, my hat says 45.
Yeah.
I was at Trump's first one, and then I skipped the last one, and now I'm at this one. So I think it's going to be much different. It's like nobody really knows what to do. Nobody knows, where to go. So I think we're just trying to figure that out.
Wow.
Hey, Steve, is this our stop? Yeah, I don't even know if I'm at my stop. I'm on the phone with you.
Well, don't miss your stop. Don't miss your stop.
No, we'll be okay. But it's just, I think it's a great day in America. This is kind of the Super Bowl of politics, which is going on today. Or it's more like I think it's more like the victory celebration. Inside the locker room. That's what this really is. And but it's unfortunate. Quarter million people. It all changed because of something they're not telling us.
Yeah, that's too bad. And this has got such a Florida feel to it. We got all our friends in the administration, Pam Bondi, the Attorney General, yourself, and there's a huge Florida contingent going on with this whole administration. So I think that puts our state in a good spot, does it not?
It absolutely does. I mean, a lot of the people that he's picking for his administration, are from Florida, and I think it really shows, the politics of Florida is on the right track.
Yeah,
I think
I would agree.
Spot,
Is this your stop? Do you need to get off?
This is my stop, but I can keep talking. Let's just keep talking as we get off this train. This is my son there. But yeah, so
Morning,
I
son.
think it's
Who knows?
I think it's going to be I think it's going to be an interesting day. I think because nobody knew what today was to hold.
Yeah.
I mean, I had tickets. A lot of people couldn't get tickets.
Yeah.
I mean, I got tickets to the event, pretty good tickets actually. I'm kind of disappointed that
So
I
that's
don't
why
get
you're
to use those
disappointed.
tickets.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, So I mean, I had really, really good tickets, and everybody. I mean, you think about all the plane tickets and the hotels and
Yeah.
everything that people paid for, and all that's just for what? To watch it on TV that you could watch from your house because they're only
Yeah.
allowing 600 people in the rotunda. Well, there's 535 congressmen and senators, so except for the ones that won't come.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. The half of them won't be there. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
So
well,
you know,
what was that? Did you go to anything last night? I saw there was a huge party last night.
yeah, I did go to a few different parties. It was yeah, like I said, it's a mixed bag because nobody really knows, what to do or where to go to because everybody had their plans and now their
Right.
plans are all up in the air. Like my plan was, I would have been on this train at like 5 o'clock in the morning and already been into the DC. But the event I'm going to now that I'm speaking at doesn't start until 11, so there's really no reason for me to get my ass up on a cold winter morning
Gotcha.
and go in and watch it. But it's gonna be a good day, man. It's gonna be a really good day.
Well, enjoy your inauguration. Give us a full report when you get back. Thanks,
Thank
partner.
you, brother. Have a great day, man. Bye.
Yeah. It's Cliff Geffhart up there in Washington, D.C. He's a little disappointed. He had good tickets. That's like having tickets to the Super Bowl, and then you're sorry, game's canceled. Sorry, Wally World's closed. Moose should have told you outside.
Yeah,
that sucks.
So he said the temperature is what, 21?
23, I think he said. Yeah,
23. So this would be the third coldest ever inauguration.
Yeah,
since they started doing this thing. The coldest ever, 1985, Ronald Reagan's second inauguration was 7 degrees.
Ooh, ouch, babe. Ooh.
JFK in 61, it was 22 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks a lot, Obama in 09, 28 degrees. Jimmy Carter, 28 degrees and 77.
Yeah, it's cold.
Yeah, FDR's 2 and 41 and 37 were 29 and 33 degrees. Clinton was 34. I mean, it's just cold. Just whatever.
It's always cold. It's always
right.
cold.
He's right. There's something else going on.
Yeah. That's too bad. But I think it's to be expected in this world that we live in now.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of
bunch of crazies out there.
Yeah, there are a bunch of crazies out there. Well, let's talk a little bit about this Chiefs game. It's getting a little. Listen, I'm not here to say that there's a big conspiracy that the NFL wants the Chiefs to be in the Super Bowl every freaking year because Taylor Swift is their money making crossover entertainment. We got to show her. It's got to be all part of it. And I'm not here to say that. Some of you can say that, but I'm not here to say that.
Yeah.
What I'm here to say is it is ridiculous how they protect the golden child, Patrick Mahomes. I mean, the roughing the passer on Will Anderson was a joke. There was no helmet to helmet. And damn, like the ball wasn't even out of his hands when he got hit. It was barely a fraction of a second when he got hit. What the hell is the player supposed to do? Who's moving? First, you got to beat a 350-pound tackle. And then if you're Will Anderson Jr., probably a running back as well. And then when you get there, you're supposed to be completely under body control where you don't hit Mr. Mahomes too severely as to cause any injury to him, even when he has the ball in his hands. I mean, what the actual F are we doing? It's ridiculous. And then he's running around. It won't go down. He could slide at any point on this next one. And, I mean, he can take a knee. He can slide. He's trying to find extra yards, every yard he can find. And then when he finally falls on his ass as two guys are about to hit him and they hit each other, that's unnecessary roughness. And that leads to a touchdown. Come on now.
Yeah,
that's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I don't know what what they're supposed to do. I know you got to protect the quarterback. I get all that, but this is it's not football. I mean, even Troy Aikman was losing his mind.
Yeah,
and thankfully so. I mean, it's great to hear a little bit of candor. I mean, Brady's not allowed to.
By the way, from a quarterback that had 3 pretty serious concussions in his career, Troy Aikman.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's. I mean, look, you watch Patrick Mahomes play, and you want to see him play every down. I mean, he's falling down, falling forward, throws a strike to Kelsey in the end zone for a touchdown between two defenders. He's incredible. The way he uses his legs is incredible. But you just can't call games like this. It's getting to the point of ridiculousness. And I don't know, the NFL just, and I'm sitting there watching the shows on Sunday, and there was barely a mention of it. Did you notice that?
So I'm not the conspiracy theorist on this subject that most people are. I see crap like that in every game for every team. I think this whole thing about the league favoring the Chiefs is just blown out of proportion. I don't think that's a thing. I do think Mahomes manipulates the system with his fake slide and his I'm going to get 2 more yards in bounds and then I'm going to go out of bounds, Now, that's a thing, obviously, and that's on him. And one day he's going to get lit up for it, and they'll probably call a penalty, but he'll deserve it. He'll deserve to get lit up for that, or he's going to try to slide too late, and he's going to get freaking his head knocked off. Good. If you're going to manipulate the system like that, you're going to get what's coming to you eventually, and it'll be worth a 15-yard penalty for whatever team does it.
Yeah.
But that's on Mahomes and other quarterbacks that do that. They do it in college all the time, and I hate it. They got to get rid of the slide. You have to get rid of the slide.
Yeah.
Or quit calling the penalties when they get hit in the head when they slide late. So something has to be done.
To me, though, it's pretty clear when guys slide late and get hit. It seemed Baker did it a few weeks ago. Did he get the call or not?
I don't think he did.
I don't think he did, and I was okay with that. Okay with that. You have the chance to slide on time. You have the chance. Just do it. Don't try to take advantage of the rule. And that's what Mahomes does all the time. He'll be heading out of bounds and then he'll dart back in bounds. Yeah. He does it all the time. And that should be a penalty. And so should flopping. Flopping should be a penalty. It's a penalty in hockey. Why shouldn't it be a penalty in every
it's a big penalty in hockey.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, you want to get to some of the comments here?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Rick says Tyreek is on his children's visitation tour. First leg of the tour is Florida.
Is it Tampa?
I didn't realize that. Yes, you might be true. That's a lot of child support. I mean, a lot of ladies to visit. That's going to take a large chunk of its
all summer long. I would know. Okay, might all live with me for the most part, so I don't have to travel. But yeah, I get it.
Nathan Elliott says can't afford Hill and improve the defense. I would agree that. James says I remember when it snowed in Tampa in '77. It was 1977. A Davis Island Bridge iced over. No one could leave, so it was an awesome day. Obviously, no school. I didn't know the Davis Island Bridge iced over. How about that?
Wow,
that's crazy. Yes, it's. I was in Hollywood at the time, and it snowed at Olson Middle School. I've told you that story.
Yeah.
Many times. Little Johnny Peterson leading the revolt out the back door when the teacher said, "No, you can't go out in the snow." I'm like, "See ya.
Watch me.
Watch us. Follow me."
John We're going streaking by the quad.
Cafe Paradiso was the best. Many thanks, JP. Yes.
Oh, nice.
Glad you had a great birthday dinner there. What's the latest on Liam Cohen? The latest is he's not been hired yet by any other team, so he's staying. There's still a bunch of openings. We learned that the Bears reached out to Mike Tomlin. Tomlin saying, everybody, don't waste your time. He's not going anywhere. Steeler fans want him fired. I don't get it. But I don't know. If I were Tomlin, I might be looking for a little change of scenery. They don't appreciate you anymore, Tomlin.
Yeah. He's done more with less, more than any coach I've seen.
Yeah. James says Lions would have hung 50 without the turnovers, but it's so funny now everyone giving Bowles a pass because the Lions lost. Lions had more than 44 snaps and 7 possessions. They handed the game to the Commanders. That's true. Good defense isn't just because of the points that are on the board. You have to look at it in context. If you don't get the ball back in crucial situations or at all, that's not good defense. Yeezy says Jalen is hurt, was off a perk at the end of the game. Never heard him speak like that in his end of game interview. I don't know. I thought he spoke very well at the end of the game. thanking his Lord and Savior. It's pretty awesome. Michael LaRue, good morning to you. Dan Quinn versus Kellen Moore in the NFC Championship game.
Yeah, that's not lost on Dallas fans. we know. By the way, the Cowboys are now the longest NFC drought for an NFC title game since the Redskins have now made it.
Yeah.
And not by a little bit, by 15 years, 96 for the 95 season, which was their last Super Bowl win. And now I think the Bears in 2011 is the longest NFC drought.
Oh, okay.
So,
Michael LaRue says the Bucs didn't have the defense to win a Super Bowl this year. Didn't have the defensive players or didn't have the defense? How much of that is on Bowles? Please respond. Easy. Jeff is also his good friend. Who's Jeff? What's that? I don't know. Forgot that in context.
My name is Jeff.
I still believe Bowles will balk at staff changes on defense, and Liam will be the next head coach of the Bucs. What James is referring to is back when the Glazers asked, who was it? Was it Lovie Smith? Yeah, Lovie Smith. We asked Lovie Smith, like, what's your plan to fix your defense? And it wasn't, he said, I want to go hire a bunch of consultants. and the Glazers said, wait a minute, we're paying you to be the consultant.
Yeah.
The head coach. We're not going to go out and pay some more people to be the consultant.
We're going to pay other people to do your job that we pay you for.
I don't mean to be disrespectful to Lovie Smith. We'll ask Scott Reynolds tomorrow if I'm remembering that correctly. But basically, he wouldn't make staff changes, and that was the end of that. And Tony Dungy was given an ultimatum as well with Mike Shula at the Pro Bowl in Hawaii, and Tony relented, or actually, I think it was Mike Shula got wind of it and said, I'll leave. You don't have to fire me. I'll leave, which was mighty. I thought.
Yeah.
It was a nice move. Michael Sorgel says, wasn't it Trask's contract this year? Else this offseason defense. Oh, Trask's contract is up, yes.
Yeah.
So, he's one of the free agents that I think you want to bring him back. I mean, we haven't seen him really play that much. He's experienced. He knows the offense. I think in a pinch, he can win some games for you. What's the alternative? I don't know what the alternative is. Would you draft a quarterback? I know they're high on this kid they picked up from Tulane. His name escapes me right now. That
Cooper Rush is free. Trey Lance is out there.
Yeah, I mean, why? If those are the options, why change?
Yeah.
And I mean, Cooper Rush obviously has a lot more experience, so there might be some advantage there. He's going to be more expensive than Trask, though, too. Exactly. So, I don't know. In this case, I think I'd move towards continuity, but I don't know what else is out there. Michael LaRue says in the 18th game of the season, wide receivers are standing under the goalpost all by themselves for touchdowns. Unacceptable in a playoff game. It's just ridiculous. Yeezy says Robert Saleh is now the betting favorite for the Jags job, replacing Liam as the betting favorite. So, I mean, Shad Khan's going to go with a defensive-minded guy. I'm glad. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Liam off your board, but I don't know. The Jags are a disaster. That's not our problem. James said, I've never seen local media so enamored with Bowles. No biggie if we lose Liam. Even Corey Long, friend of the JP show, says Liam is not Bill Walsh. Well, he's right about that.
Yeah.
I mean, what the F is this all about, JP? I don't know. Well, I do kind of understand the Bowles stuff. It's probably, more politically correct to some people. I don't know. I mean, you can make the case. You obviously can with the division championships. You can make the case. I get it.
And the district championships too.
As well. I think there's something bigger and better for this team. I think the league is changing to more aggressive coaching and more highly motivational coaches, and Todd's really not that, and his defense is failing. And Scott Reynolds wrote a great Fab Five article on the outside linebackers and their rushing, and how many times they drop into coverage and how absolutely futile it is. And you're dropping these guys, JTS, Anthony Nelson, Diaby. You're dropping and Braswell. You're dropping them into coverage, and they're terrible at coverage. They're terrible. And teams are attacking them when they drop. When you see them drop, that's where you go to the ball. Austin Eckler, 27 yards, sets up the field goal at the end of the game there. It's a crucial play. And Diaby's got no chance out there against the running back. No chance. Terrible. When you're getting those type of matchups, that is a coaching win for the other team. Oh, you got a running back on Diaby, and that's where we went and got a key. That's a coaching win. It's a coaching win and a coaching loss at a critical moment with Todd Bowles in the playoffs. Where have we seen this before? But yet we can't fire him. Absolutely no way. I love this. JP was fired in Atlanta and ran out of town. B. Who's B? Who's B? Who's B?
Why are you hiding? Just
Bitch.
let us know who you are.
Yeah.
Bitch.
Bitch. Is it B for bitch? Little bitch? Where are you? Really? Expound on that. Or actually, the station I was at, 790 The Zone, syndicated and got out of the radio business, the sports radio business, and syndicated and ceded everything to ESPN, the local radio business, because they were insurance giants and didn't want to be in the business anymore.
Right.
And they gave us all severance pays. So that's not being fired. That's called a format shift. And I was not run out of town. I was hired by another station to do more work and stayed on with the Atlanta Falcons as their radio host. Asswipe. I mean, I love these people. I know who you are. I know exactly who you are and what radio station you work for. And you are an absolute loser, spineless jellyfish that can't even bring his own face into it. You're such a coward. And you bring this crap here. Go break a story. Go do something besides having the worst ratings in the radio history. F you, and F you. Peace out. I'm going to go have a Guinness. Dan Campbell is Josh B7815. What's up? Haven't seen you win. Good morning. Dan Campbell is starting to trend towards blowing it. His decisions cost him last year in the NFC Championship game. There's some truth to this, but he's also gets credit for taking the Lions from complete obscurity, although Brad Holmes from our local high school here, their GM, has done a fantastic job. But I think in general, if you ask around where Dan Campbell is in the hierarchy of coaches, yeah, you're going to win some, lose some with that mentality. I think if you're looking at the Lions this year, was it 21 players on injured reserve?
Yeah. That hurt.
If you put a poll out to Bucs fans and said, would you rather have Dan Campbell or Todd Bowles as your head coach? Where do you think that would land?
God. Yeah.
Where do you think that would land?
I would like to see a poll that just says Todd Bowles or literally anyone else. I'd like to know where that went.
But I get you, Josh. I get you. I think there's a little, but again, if you want to ask me which I'd rather have, give me the aggressive coach. Me, the biting of the kneecaps as opposed to the massaging of the calves. James says Bucs would have gone to Philly. Yeah, that's right. And probably won. Rick, Todd hasn't figured out that most teams are aggressive and think 4-down territory all over the field. So true. So true. Nathan Elliott says the WFT Buccaneer playoff game was physically a Tampa Bay home game, but Buccaneers fans sold out the home field advantage in their tickets for the money, the Washington football team. Well, Nathan, you were there in the crowd. I was there in the press box, so you had a much better feel for it than I did. I mean, just eyeballing it and listening to it from the press box, yeah, there were way too many Washington fans there. I would not disagree with that. And that's sad. And that's sad. We need to do better. We definitely need to do better. Michael LaRue says other teams get turnovers to win the game. Isn't that funny how that works? Yeah. It's a huge part of – it's a huge part. And it's something that Todd Bowles' defense used to do really, really well. But they don't so much anymore. At least this year, certainly not. Meets McGee, what's up, partner? Said I love that. I love this picture. The offense was capable of running through the NFC, JP. I'm glad you said you're more pissed today. I feel absolutely the same. Thank you, Meets McGee. I mean, I look at these teams. I'm like, the Bucs are every bit as good. Think they're being held back. That's just me. Lonnie Wilkins says it's like when the Rays bounced in 2021 and seeing teams they should have beaten make a run. Nothing is guaranteed with windows. Totally agree with that, partner. Donald Vesey says, are the turnovers awful or are the games fixed? I don't think the games are fixed, Donald. I just don't think I don't think you could possibly script it like that and have so many people involved and not somebody whistleblower not come forward and say what's going on. But I think there's certain ways you can shape games by the way you call them on reviews in New York. You know, if they're the ones being the final arbitrator in so many of these calls because they have connection with the on-field refs, I don't think that's a good system. I think it just begs for people like me and Tim to say, what's going on here? Jeff Bezos and his girlfriend just arrived at the DC event today. She is a hottie. Yes, she is.
Yeah.
She is.
Just don't get married.
Society. Yeah. Let's not act like Josh Allen didn't have a minute to get into field goal range. Yeah, he did. Nathan Elliott says Lamar Jackson is not the same player in the playoffs. They got him Derrick Henry. They got him Likely. He has had Andrews. How much more does this three-time MVP need? Lamar needs to play like an MVP.
Now, they were without his number one target in Zay Flowers.
Yes. Yeah.
So, again, injuries.
James points out winning teams had no turnovers. Ryan Clark making excuses for Lamar, and I love Lamar, but those two turnovers were not good. Just say it. They trashed Baker for a handoff, so say Lamar could have played better. I agree. He's a great player, obviously MVP, but in those moments, why has he not been bigger or better? Unfortunately, that's how you're going to be judged. And Mahomes and Kelsey, in the biggest moments, they do not fail. They do not fail. Rick says, why do the OC get so cute during playoffs? Trick plays, pass happy. Derrick Henry only 16 carries. Run the friggin' ball. Bills, Eagles, Chiefs, Washington all did the simple things. I think that's true. There were a couple that Lions double reverse pass by the wide receiver came at a very inopportune time. And I don't think Dan Campbell liked that call.
You could tell.
Yeah.
Ben Johnson was showing his playbook as he was applying for jobs out there. Is what he was doing.
Yeah. Should we even put this idiot back on? B.
I don't know what he say. Now I want to know. Now you have to.
Okay. JP is dirt poor. That's why he must work on MLK Day holiday.
Huh. I mean, that's why I'm here.
Yeah. No, we're actually doing it for you guys because we actually get paid the same. We're doing it for you guys. Once again, B, you're an idiot. But and we know the Rays aren't being sold, JP. Otherwise, you would release the name of the new owners. We know how hard you are to be first to release info. Oh, that's funny because Ken Rosenthal.
It wasn't even JP's news.
Probably knows more than you, B. I'm just saying. B, you must know everything because you're much smarter and richer than everybody. That's why you're up on MLK Day watching my show and commenting on my show because I'm living rent-free in your brain today on MLK Day. And so you know more than Ken Rosenthal. You're right. You coward. You can't even put your name out there in your face. Like, what a spineless POS. You can't even put your name and your face out there. All you could do is talk shit. What a freaking loser. What a freaking loser. Will be lots of hate this morning. I just I'm not gonna get worked up. It ain't worth it. Michael LaRue said Chris Sims said Lamar Jackson should have put the ball on Andrews right away. He double clutched it. He's right on that.
Uh-huh.
You got to throw on time. And as Sean King said, the ball was, behind a little down and behind him and it's dying. If it's a crisp pass and it's not diving, it's easier to catch. But again, you got to catch that ball. I don't want to put that on totally on Lamar, but I also don't want to put it, totally on Andrews either. You got to be better in that moment. Where was that? Patrick Mahomes is getting tackled from behind, falling down, and he drills a spiral between the 8 and the 7 to Kelsey in the end zone. Make the play. Make the play. What else we got here? Michael LaRue. Liam Cohen was at the Gasparilla Children's Parade all day Saturday, so he wasn't in an office somewhere putting together an entire staff for a new team. I like that, Michael LaRue. Yep. That's some good information. Rick says, JP, you're wrong. The Chiefs play fundamental football better than anyone else. Of course, they can block for Mahomes when he scrambles for 10 seconds and no holds. That's it. That's the weird part. It's never a flag. Rick also says that wasn't snow in Hollywood. It was Columbia's finest. That was down in Miami Beach.
That was a lot of it then.
Down in Miami Beach. So next week it'll be the Bills versus the refs, says Sergio Biltris. You know, what's sad, Tim, is that's the conversation.
I know.
That shouldn't be the conversation. That shouldn't be the conversation. He said JP still hasn't released the new Rays owners. Obviously, he doesn't know. And what did Ken Rosenthal write? He said he's using an anonymous source within the Rays. So again, B, you have no idea what you're talking about. You're too much of an absolute loser and spineless jellyfish to put your name on it. But it's fun ripping you and giving us content. So
I mean, he's still watching the show, so
yeah. James believes us. It's a stew plant. It's a stew plant. Ooh, it might be Stu himself.
Yeah.
By the way, if it is Stu, you can come on the program anytime. You know, you're welcome to come on and have a nice conversation about all this. Meets McGee said, what would happen if the Bucs go through the midseason slump again? Will they redevelop the whole here we go again mentality that they had before Bruce Arians and Tom Brady got rid of it? I mean, you get the credit for the comeback and making of the playoffs, absolutely. And these guys play hard for Todd Bowles, and they are, they're consistent in those comebacks. That's 2 years in a row. But you also have teams that are winning 12 games like Washington, and coming out of nowhere and doing it, and in Minnesota winning 14 games. These are you don't have to have a midseason swoon. You also have to take credit for that as well. Nathan says the exit ramp was full of Washington football team fans after the game. The WFD Buck fan numbers were lopsided in favor of Washington, who were calling themselves and singing "Hail the Redskins" fight songs.
Still think that name's coming back.
Yeah, I do too. Ben Johnson failed his interview in front of Brady. I think he's still going to get a gig though. Which one's he getting?
I don't think it's going to be the Raiders.
Well, if Ben Johnson failed that one, where do the Raiders go now? Liam Cohen?
I mean, Robert Saleh is still in play for the Raiders.
Mm-hmm. I
think that would be a good fit. I'd rather have him here in Dallas as the defensive coordinator, though.
Yeah. JRW15B, good morning to you. Says B can kick rocks, but I think if this defense can draft a few pieces and pick up some free agents, we will be looking good. Sucks because we could easily be there in the thick of it now. I agree. Listen, Jason Light's going to do everything in the offseason that he should do. We have utmost confidence in him. He's going to go find an edge rusher. Come hell or high water. He's going to find an inside linebacker. I bet they find an experienced one if Levante's not coming back, or even if he is, somebody in the 28, 29-year-old category that's played, has a bunch of starts under their belt, second contract guy. And then also, Servassier is coming back, so that should help. And they'll probably draft another inside linebacker as well, draft a couple corners. You're definitely going to see that, especially guys with good ball skills. They got to go find some of those dudes. No question about it. And he'll make the requisite changes, but you're still going to have the same head coach and the same issues that he brings, in my opinion. So but that's the way it's going to go. And I hope they win lots of games. I just hope we're just not here in the same situation, because as we've said, the windows close quick. They close really, really quick.
Yeah, just ask the Lions. Theirs might be shut. You don't even know. They may have missed it.
All right, let's take one more break, and then we'll come back, and I want to hit the Bolts, and, of course, the national championship game coming up tonight. We'll make our picks on that. So, quick break. We're brought to you by the Gold and Diamond Source. Great time to pop the question in the new year, 2025. Valentine's Day is coming up. That's another great time to pop the question. And, of course, you need a ring. You need a ring, and you got to go to the Gold and Diamond Source, get a real diamond. Know that what you're buying is what they say it is because they've been in business for 40 freaking years. You go to other places, you have no idea what you're getting. They may look like diamonds. They may not be diamonds. So go with the trusted people at the Golden Diamond Source. Great staff, great customer service. Of course, they have the Elite collection, which is also incredible, and you won't find it anywhere else. It's the Golden Diamond Source, 0% financing over 5 years. Everything you need, it's right there, 3800 Omerton Road. Always online at goldendiamondsource.com. Back in 3.
Hey, JP here for my concierge medical professional, Chris Lugo, PA. You've heard him on the show for a couple of years where he shares invaluable medical, nutritional, and supplement advice. With Chris, it's like having a medical provider as your best friend. What I love about this concierge service is the convenience and support he offers. I can text or call him 24/7 with any questions or concerns, and he'll promptly call in a prescription if needed. No office visits or copays required. It gives me peace of mind knowing I have someone genuinely invested in my health, not just focused on insurance profits. And the best part, the Bay Area Modern Medical Center's personal concierge service is more affordable than you might think. Don't let insurance companies dictate your health care. Take control of your health and wellness today. Visit BAMMC.com for more information and to schedule your initial free consultation. Empower yourself and take charge of your personal health with BAMMC.com.
Hey guys, why not kick off 2025 by popping the question? Yes, and you know where to get that perfect engagement ring. It's the Gold and Diamond Source. The best prices, the best quality, and yes, get her a real diamond. You don't want to go with the fake stuff. And January's birthstone is garnet for all you FSU fans, right? Get 15% off all the unforgettable garnet jewelry at the Gold and Diamond Source. Also, discover Emily by Emily Johnson Weintraub, a sleek and modern jewelry line that makes everyday gifts extraordinary. And don't forget, you have any unused gold? Turn it into cash or a stunning new piece. With gold prices soaring, there's no better time to trade up. You can do it all at the Gold and Diamond Source, 3800 Omerton Road, always online at thegoldendiamondsource.com. JP here for the Jeeves Law Group and my man Scott Jeeves. If you're going to hire an attorney, do you want some guy looking for a quick settlement and a quick buck, or do you want an attorney with some chops? Scott is a board-certified civil trial lawyer and a certified circuit court mediator. Been practicing in the Tampa Bay area for over 30 years. He is a peer-reviewed AV preeminent-rated civil trial lawyer. They just don't hand out those classifications. He's been the lead class action counsel on many complex consumer protection cases and has handled hundreds of serious personal injury cases. He's dedicated his career to protecting injured victims and is committed to vigorously representing you. We're local, we're trusted, and we get results. Personal injury and personal attention. Call for a free case evaluation. That's 888-9-JEEVES. That's 888-9-JEEVES. The Jeeves Law Group.
Let's go. Right now. Back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show, brought to you by Bay Area Modern Medical Center. Chris Lugo, PA, now in the concierge medicine business. Get your own personal doctor and have him available 24/7. You get his personal cell phone number. You could text him or call him. If you need a script right away, you don't have to go into the office. Call him up, do a little telemed, and he will be able to take care of you. Done it for me many, many, many times, and it's a great thing to have, especially with all this stuff that's going around, folks. Bay Area Modern Medical Center. Go to the website, set up a consultation, a free consultation to find out what it's all about. Concierge medicine, where you need to be in this day and age. All right, partner, we got a national championship game tonight, right? It's kind of sneaky, isn't it? Kind of sneaks up on you after a weekend of playoff football.
Yeah, for sure. I don't like that it's on a Monday. It just feels weird.
Yeah. I just read something that I will definitely not read on there from our good friend B.
What an idiot.
What an idiot. Have a nice day. Anyway, so tonight we got Notre Dame, Ohio State. I have a bad feeling about this game for Notre Dame. You know, I think they're the sentimental favorite. love Marcus Freeman and Riley Leonard and the whole group, but it kind of feels like they've been playing over their head a little bit. And Ohio State is just absolutely loaded. All I could say is that, Ryan Day could keep Notre Dame in it, but I think even he, with this much talent advantage, and Ohio State is just playing so well. I don't see how they lose this game tonight. Do you?
Oh yeah, I see it very easily. His name's Will Howard. He has a bad game, and they're toast. And I against that defense of Notre Dame, I can see Will Howard making some costly mistakes that Riley Leonard will quickly take advantage of. And I've got Notre Dame in this game by 2 touchdowns.
Really? By 2 touchdowns?
Yeah, I'm thinking like a 28-14, 31-17 game.
This just a total Ryan Day, Will Leonard choke factor?
Yeah, pretty much. Not so much Ryan Day. I have zero faith in Will Howard as a quarterback on the stage, and I know, they've won some big games here, obviously in the playoff, but it wasn't necessarily because of Will Howard.
Are you just doing this to piss off Tito, or are you serious? You think Notre Dame's going to win by 2 touchdowns?
I think Notre Dame's going to win. Yes.
I'd love to see it, to be quite honest. And it's crazy that we've come to this point now that Notre Dame is the sentimental favorite over Ohio State.
Right?
Yeah, I love that part of it.
I've grown up hating Notre Dame, but they're so likable now. I mean, there's nothing to hate about Notre Dame.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things to hate about Ohio State. Number one, they're in Ohio.
Yeah, I would agree. 100%. I'm not going to lay the point. What is it, up to 8 now? 8.5? What's the latest?
Maybe I'll go check.
Yeah. I think it's a lot of points, but just for maybe a little bit of fun, we'll just put it on Notre Dame. Just for fun. Yeah, it didn't pop up for there we go.
8.5.
8.5. Over under 45.5. By the way, did you tally up our picks for the NFL this weekend?
Oh, I have not yet. No, I wasn't supposed to be on today, remember?
Oh, yeah, that's right. All right, we'll do that tomorrow. Don't worry about it. We'll do it tomorrow. We'll do that tomorrow. All right, before we go, little thoughts on the Bolts Saturday night. First of all, thanks to Baker and Tristan Wirfs and the whole gang for coming out to support the Bolts on our Gasparilla night. I hope you guys enjoyed my terrible pirate accent, all the fun we had with that. Seemed to go over well with the crowd. Always fun to do. And Kucherov did it again. Did you see the goal? His goal on Saturday night?
Yes. Ridiculous.
He is just something else, man. And Brian Engbaum, my partner on the post game show, he was down at ice level, and he said, "Man, he was pissed off the whole game. He was chirping and just in a bad mood the whole freaking game." That's kind of where his headspace has been at lately. I don't know why. But he's been kind of cranky, and if he keeps doing stuff like that, plus the assist to Pointer the other day on that game-winning goal was insane. This move just absolutely destroyed 2 Red Wings. Kane from behind, who was the defenseman that he just absolutely abused. Just a great move. If you haven't seen it, go check it on my timeline and the Lightning's timeline. They win 5-1 over the Red Wings. Vasilevsky's last 2 games have been absolute virtuoso performances. He is really finding a groove now. Seeing a lot of shots, probably more than you need to see. 40 a game now. The Lightning are giving up. But, when Vasi's in his groove like this and you're just letting him see shots from the outside, he's going to make the saves. And they're kind of in that groove right now. They lost Chernak the other night. Doesn't seem like it's going to be long-term. At first, we thought it might be, but Crozier came up, thought he played pretty well. But the 5-1 win was fantastic. They get a couple of power play goals again. They got this new right-handed power play, left-handed power play thing going on, which is really cool. And Kucherov stays on the ice and sets him up on both sides, and he kind of switches. I've never seen that, but it's really cool, and it's working. And a penalty kill was great the other night, too. I think they were 5 for 6 against Detroit, who came in since the coaching change, hitting at 50% on their power play. And the Bolts shut them down. So nice win, 5-1. Now they're out on the road, and they got Toronto tomorrow and Wednesday, I believe. Or is it tonight and Wednesday? That's Tuesday and Wednesday? Yeah, I think it is. And then they come back with Chicago. They got Toronto, Montreal, back-to-back, and then they come back with Chicago and who they finish up with back to Boston. Let me just check real quick here.
I'm trying to look it up here too.
Yeah, so they've got Lightning and Maple Leafs tonight. Oh God, we got to watch both games now tonight. 7:30.
Right. Montreal tomorrow.
NHL Network and FanDuel tonight, and then Montreal tomorrow, back to back. So we'll see Johansson probably. I would think probably tomorrow. I would think probably get Vasi tonight, and then they go on the weekend.
Chicago. They're off until Friday.
Yeah, and then they got Chicago, which
back to back.
Engblom thinks we'll see Johansson in that one, and then we'll get for the divisional game Saturday against the Red Wings again in Detroit. We'll get Vasi for that one. So that's 3 out of 4 games are Atlantic Division. They're still under 500. I think they're 3-6 now in the Atlantic Division. So they need to, obviously need to start getting wins within division because they're going to be heavily scheduled towards division conference the rest of the way. So, these are the games you got to win. And so far, so good. They're off to a good start against Detroit, who came into that game having won 8 of 9. The coaching change obviously has done wonders for them. So they're playing good. And we'll see on this road trip tonight.
Kucherov got his 600th career assist.
Yes. So did Hedman the other night.
One game after Hedman.
So now Kucherov will be the all-time assist leader for the Lightning here coming up and moving forward. But I tell you what, 600 assists for both guys is a freaking enormous number. And Heddy, only the 4th Swedish-born defenseman to get the 600 assists. These guys are all putting up Hall of Fame numbers, and it's really, really fun to watch.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else we want to get to here that we may have forgotten?
Not that I can see.
All right.
If anybody knows how to get rid of my stopped up nose, just tweet me.
Well, I'll get Lugo on that right away. It's just some concierge medicine. Yeah.
All freaking weekend.
Yeah, I'm going to take some more meds that he's prescribed for me. Actually not meds, they're all supplements. The vitamin D, vitamin K2, all that good stuff. Just choking it all down while everybody in my house just keeps hacking. They've had this cough that's going around. Oh, by the way, happy birthday to Chief. We went to Chief's 80th birthday yesterday. I'll share some photos for you. And there's Phil. Phil was there. Phil Esposito looking great, and the lovely Ashley there. I'm the ugly guy. And there's Chief and Ash. We had a great time at Bernini's in Jason Fernandez place in Ybor City. Is fantastic. Peckham was there. PK was, Paul Kennedy was there. All the Chiefs fellow broadcasters were there. Espo. It was fun. Good time. Cool. Good time had by all. And what a great dude. What a great dude. He looks great for 80 and still crushes the golf ball. I hope I look that good when I'm 80. I still can play golf. But happy birthday, Chief. We love you, man. Coming on the show all the time. He's just as good as it gets. As it gets.
Really is.
All right. Have a great day, everybody. We're going to cut it short here today so you can enjoy your MLK celebrations and the inauguration of our 47th president, Donald J. Trump. Thank the Lord. We will be back tomorrow with more fun and frivolity. Scott Reynolds will join us, TJ Reeves, the whole Tuesday crew. We'll see you then.